The deep rumble of a diesel engine echoed through Oakwood Estates just after sunrise. The neighborhood was unusually quiet. The only sounds were birds chirping, sprinklers hissing across freshly cut lawns, and the slow growl of a heavy-duty tow truck turning onto Maple Ridge Drive. Its amber warning lights flashed rhythmically against the expensive homes lining the street. Behind lace curtains, a few early rising neighbors peeked outside, wondering why a tow truck had entered one of the quietest neighborhoods in town before 7 in the morning. The truck slowed to a crawl before stopping directly in front of my driveway. The driver shifted into park but didn't get out immediately. Instead, he stared through the windshield. His eyes were fixed on the black Chevrolet Tahoe parked neatly beside the garage. It looked like an ordinary SUV.
No flashing lights. No decals.
No obvious police markings. But something about it immediately caught his attention. He leaned forward. That's strange. He opened the work order again. Vehicle to be removed. Black Chevrolet Tahoe. Reason: unauthorized vehicle in violation of HOA regulations. He looked back at the SUV. Then down at the paperwork. Then back again. Something didn't add up. Finally, he climbed out of the truck. The cool morning air carried the smell of freshly cut grass as he slowly walked toward the vehicle. Instead of immediately attaching the tow equipment, he began inspecting it. He circled the SUV once. Then twice. When he reached the driver's side windshield, he stopped. There it was. A small government parking permit tucked neatly behind the glass. Barely visible unless someone was standing close. His eyebrows rose. He crouched lower. There was also a discreet Federal Fleet barcode attached near the lower corner of the windshield. Most people would never notice it. But he'd been towing vehicles for almost 22 years. He had seen enough government vehicles to recognize one when he found it. A nervous feeling settled into his stomach. He slowly stood back up. This doesn't feel right. At that exact moment, Karen walked across the street, coffee cup in one hand and her clipboard tucked beneath the other arm. She wore the same confident smile she always wore whenever she believed she was about to prove someone wrong. "Morning," she said cheerfully. The driver looked at her. "Mum." She smiled. "Everything ready?" He hesitated. "I have a question." Her smile faded slightly. "What kind of question?" He pointed toward the windshield. "There's a federal parking permit inside that SUV." Karen rolled her eyes. "Oh, that. You know about it?" "Of course." The driver frowned. "So it is government property?" Karen laughed. "No." "Then why does it have government identification?" She waved her hand dismissively. "He's trying to scare people." "I'm sorry." "The owner keeps telling everyone his brother works for the FBI." The driver remained silent. Karen continued. "It's just another intimidation tactic." He didn't answer. His fingers traced the air just inches from the permit. He wasn't touching the glass. Just studying it. Then he noticed something else. A small encrypted inventory sticker. Exactly the kind he'd seen on unmarked state vehicles. His stomach tightened. He slowly turned around. "Mum." Karen sighed dramatically. "What now?" "I've learned something in this business." "What?" "When a vehicle carries government identification." He paused. "I stop." Karen folded her arms. "And?" "I verify ownership before I move it." Karen's expression hardened. "You don't need to verify anything." "I think I do." She stepped closer. "No, you don't." He took a slow breath. "I've had coworkers lose contracts over mistakes like this." Karen shook her head. "You're worrying about nothing." He glanced back toward the SUV. "I don't think I am." Karen's voice became sharper. "Listen carefully." "I'm listening." "I am the elected president of this HOA." He nodded politely. "I understand. I've already spoken with our management company." He remained silent. "They approved the tow." The driver scratched his beard. "Did they verify who owns the SUV?" Karen hesitated for barely a second. "They don't need to." "They usually do." She ignored the comment. "This vehicle violates community rules." The driver looked toward the quiet house. Every instinct told him something was wrong. Very wrong. He pulled out his phone. I'm just going to call dispatch at my office. Karen's smile disappeared completely. Why? So they can double-check before we tow it. Karen took another step toward him.
No.
He blinked.
No.
You already have authorization. I'd still feel better confirming. Karen lowered her voice. If you refuse to perform the tow. She paused deliberately. I'll file a complaint against your company. The driver looked surprised. I'm not refusing. Then do your job. I just want to be careful. Karen smiled again. But this time, it wasn't friendly. If you drive away without removing that SUV, your company will lose every HOA contract in this neighborhood. Silence. The driver stared at the paperwork, then at the SUV, then at Karen. He knew exactly what the right decision was, but he also knew losing HOA contracts could cost his company thousands of dollars every month. After nearly 30 seconds of complete silence, he finally whispered, I've got a really bad feeling about this. He climbed back into the tow truck, started the hydraulic controls. The steel cable slowly unrolled. The hook clicked into place beneath the SUV. The hydraulic winch began pulling. As the tires rolled onto the flatbed, he couldn't shake the feeling that every inch the vehicle moved was pulling him closer to the biggest mistake of his career. He looked one last time at the federal permit in the windshield, then quietly said to himself, Please, tell me she's right. She wasn't. Within the next 2 hours, his phone would ring. The voice on the other end would identify itself as an FBI special agent. And from that moment forward, nothing in his career would ever be the same.